been a minute. Invite another co-host and reach more viewers. No thanks. Welcome. Hello. How long has it been since I've been live? Too long. It was a trick question. Too long is the answer. Welcome, everybody. My name is Austin Hamilton, also known as the Porn Coach, PXRN Coach. But you can't say porn on the internet, or can you? Sierra, me and my husband, who I married a little over a month ago, were watching your videos and are considering coaching. All right, well, glad you're here. Well, okay, hold on. I'm sorry you're in this situation, and I'm glad you're here on the live looking at videos and resources to get help. Sierra, I'd be happy to chat with you. If you go to the link in my bio, you can schedule what's called a discovery call, where we just talk about your situation. It can be just you, it can be you and your husband, but I'd be happy to chat. And again, I'm sorry that whatever the circumstances that brought you there, it's real tough to go through. So, it's funny, before I got on this live, I was like, I'm not going to talk about my groups and stuff, and then here you go, you ask about coaching. So start with the discovery call if you want. Link is in my bio. It absolutely is. Aaron, if you guys need a doula in northern Michigan, Aaron's your gal. No, just my opinion, Wilson. Okay, yes, it's cheating. No, it's not cheating. It's human nature. Nightingale. So let me get this straight, Nightingale. It's human nature what? To masturbate while watching strangers have sex on a screen? That's human nature? Tell me more. You want to come on and chat? I'd love to chat. How often do you masturbate while watching other strangers have sex on a screen? Nightingale? Yeah, sounds like an animal to me. Lots? Once a day? How long have you been doing that for? And how's that working for you? What do you think about using imagination? That's called fantasy. I think it can be a problem. It's working great. Good. You in a relationship, Nightingale?
Hey, what's up,
James?
man?
Hey, man, what's going on?
Nothing much, man. I'm just chilling. How's your night been?
Okay, doing pretty good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, I don't think it becomes cheating until the interactions become personal.
Okay, define personal.
So, like, if you're texting or doing some sort of video call, sending pictures back and forth, etc.
Okay.
Like when it becomes personal, when you're actually talking to them and not just watching a video of a random person on the internet.
Okay. So it becomes personal. When it becomes personal is when it becomes cheating, in your opinion, and that's when you start exchanging pictures or text messages with them?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you in a relationship?
Yeah, I am.
Is it with a
Almost.
girl?
Yeah, it is. I'm dating this girl. We've been together for almost 4 years now. It's
Is she
4
there?
years and like, no. She's at work right now. She works nights, but
Oh. You masturbating tonight?
no, sir.
Did you already do it?
No, I don't masturbate.
Oh, did you watch porn?
No, I only have like, I'd say the only sexual interactions I have are with my girlfriend.
Okay.
I just don't consider it cheating. Like if she started watching porn, I wouldn't really be mad. I think I'd be more insulted because we're close, and if she has some sort of feeling, right? If she's horny per se, right? She could just come to me. It's not that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe it depends on relationship to relationship. Like if two couples haven't had sex yet or whatever, they're not ready to have sex, etc. I think porn's a way to kind of solve that.
Okay.
Um, but yeah,
All right. So if she were to go masturbate while watching, like looking at other guys' eggplants and fantasizing over them about what she might do with the eggplant, that wouldn't bother you?
um, it would bother me, but I wouldn't consider it cheating
Why would it bother you?
because she knows she can just come to me if she has any desires about, and if she wants to have sex, or if she's feeling a little frisky, right? She
Have
can come
you
to
ever
me.
looked at porn? Have you ever looked at porn while you're in a relationship with this woman?
Yeah, at the beginning of our relationship, I did, and
Why didn't
I
you just
felt
go to
kind of
her?
guilty because it was at like the beginning before we had even like talked. Because we started dating when I was 14. She was 15. She's a year older than me, and we were both, we I guess teenagers they don't or younger teenagers they don't really know how to have sex, and so I was nervous, and I didn't know what to do, and so I would always just do it by myself, and then I kind of built up the courage, and we kind of got there, got to that point.
Real quick, Sierra, yes, probably. If I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying you would just want to talk to me first in the initial call, and then afterwards with both of us. Yeah, that would, I would say generally that would be fine. Yeah. Okay. How old are you, man?
I'm 19.
19. Okay.
Yeah.
When did you start watching porn?
I was super young, man. I was probably like 12 or 13 years old, and then
How'd
I
that
kind of
happen?
stopped. Cause at the time, so I was probably in like seventh or eighth grade. A lot of my friends had been doing it at that time, and they were like, "Yo, check this out, do this, yada yada." I was like, I kind of got peer pressure, or whatever, because I wanted to be like fit in with my friends, and so I did it, and I got the feel, I got a feeling. I was like, "Oh, this is nice, this is cool," and I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it, and it got really bad to a point, and I was like, and that's like when I first started dating. I'm dating now, and I was like, I felt guilty because I'm fantasizing about these other girls and with her, and then so I kind of like diminished, like I kind of like I didn't cold turkey it, like I didn't just stop, but I lessened it to like 3 times a day to one, and then once every 3 days, and then once a week, and then once every like other month, and then eventually I just stopped having the desire to even watch porn. And then at that point, me and my girlfriend had already started, doing things, in the bedroom and whatnot. So I never really needed to like watch porn after that. And then we moved in together, and there was really no need for porn at that point.
Got it. Got it. Well, good for you, man, for weaning yourself off it. It's very hard to do, especially at a young
Yeah, it
age.
was definitely difficult. I was like 14 years old. I was like all this shit going on in my brain. I was still a horny little teenager, and I mean, all I could really think about was just porn, sex, like titties, all of these things. And it was a struggle, but I did it, and I'm proud I did it, and I'm glad I did it.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it. Well, thanks
I
for
really
sharing, man.
encourage people. Thank you, man. I appreciate you letting me up here, and I really encourage anyone who's like watching porn in a relationship, try to stop, man. I know it's hard, but try to stop.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, man. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you, man. Have a
See ya.
good night.
You too, man. What's up, Nicole? What's up, that kid? What's up, Angela? How you guys doing? I feel like I haven't been on live in forever. When was the last time? Like Wednesday? Thursday? I gotta look. I'll bring on another guest while I look. Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, dude?
Not much. What's going on? Let's see. Hold on. Before you answer that, October 16th was the last time. Last Wednesday. It's been 7 days. Oh my gosh. All right. What's up?
Are you making a stance, or are you just promoting a question?
Right now, I'm promoting a question. We'll go from there. What do you think? Is porn cheating?
Um, as a whole, I don't think it is, but I think if you're dating your partner and they feel like it is, or they're uncomfortable with it, that's probably a discussion you need to have if you're going to continue doing it within the relationship.
Got it. Okay. Well, just because I feel like you very honestly asked me that question. If I was making a stance, I would say I'm more on the no porn persuasion. Like porn is bad. I think that if you're in a committed monogamous relationship and you've said something like "I love you, only you, mind, body, and soul till death do us part," if you deviate from that commitment or agreement, whether it's with somebody on a screen or otherwise, I think that goes against the agreement in the relationship and is therefore cheating.
What if you do it together?
What's the agreement?
Yeah, you agreed upon, something you guys can do together behind closed doors. Then I would assume you
wouldn't be
think that's
cheating.
fine, right?
Yeah, I have a lot of other questions then. Like, what's going on with your sex life where you need to watch other people have sex in order to do sex things?
Why would there be something wrong if that's something you both enjoy?
Did I say it was wrong?
I think you said what
I
I
said
would
I have
ask
so many questions.
about what's going on in your sex life that would make
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, what's going on in your sex life? Right? So, like, why?
It could just be simply that it spices things up. What's the longest relationship you've been in?
I've been married for 13 years.
Do you still feel the same day one sexually?
Do I feel the same day one sexually?
As 13 years later,
What do you mean by
with
that?
your is the spark there still?
Yes, 100%. Much better
And it
now than
has-
it used to be.
Yeah. Typically, you see in relationships that it kind of dies down over years. I mean, there's especially in our parents' generation, a lot of them sleep in different bedrooms. They haven't had. Do I have to censor myself on certain words in here?
I say porn. I mean, certain words, yeah, but be careful.
You see a lot of people not having schmecks for years and years and years, or just, So, I mean, that's why I asked you that question, because, I mean, again, to tie it all back in, this could just be a way for them to connect and spice things up. And,
Yeah, but the question is it really spicing things up, right? I think that, there's an analogy I've been using recently that, from a therapist who I listened to, said that the couple came into their office and said, "We haven't had sex for 12 years. We gotta figure out what's going on here in the relationship." It's like, okay, well, this conversation was 11 years and 361 days too late, right?
right.
When things start not working, time for a conversation. Like, let's figure this out. My opinion would be porn is not the answer. Watching fake sex, people having fake, meaning synthetic sex from strangers, I don't think is a solution to draw another couple into more intimacy with one another. In fact, most would say that actually gets people further away from true intimacy.
Do you feel like self-pleasure without porn is cheating?
I don't think that masturbation is as black and white as a lot of people want to make it seem. I think if it's done in secret, like if you're hiding it from your partner, that's problematic. I don't know that I would say it's cheating. I think that a lot of partners can say it feels like cheating, right? Obviously, it's not cheating with another person, but I think if we look at sex in the context of a marriage, we'll say, is a one way that we can mutually serve one another and be selfless for the other person's pleasure. Masturbation kind of goes against that. It's a taking activity. It's not a giving activity. But I think the key is if it's in secret or hidden, that's where it certainly can be a problem. What do you think?
So, I mean, I feel like you feel like it's less than watching porn, correct? Is that kind of where you're getting at? It's not as bad per se. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but
Well, I wouldn't say I think it's different, right? There's watching porn. There's watching porn and masturbating as one thing, and
Right.
then there's just watching porn and there's just masturbating. So they're different. I mean, I don't know that it's useful to say it's lesser than, right?
So, what part of watching something on a screen, why do you feel like that's cheating?
Well, again, it depends on what the agreement is in the relationship. If the agreement is that we're committed to one another only, and we're committed to only giving one another sexually, and only
Right.
experiencing each other sexually, if we're using other people to have that sexual fulfillment, we'll call it. The question is why do that? But wouldn't that go against the confines of the relationship, to where we're using other people for sexual pleasure?
I mean, they're not stepping outside of the relationship doing it with another person. So
What are they doing then?
watching something on their phone or computer screen and
Yeah, but it's not like
getting
they're
off.
watching. It's not like they're watching Looney Tunes. They're watching people have sex,
Right.
right? That's. I don't think anybody disagrees that that's like, generally speaking, we'll take the perversion of porn out of it, something that is intended to be enjoyed between two people privately, right? Like there's a reason why usually people don't just go have sex on the sidewalk, right? Because it's a private activity. Though I've seen it
Right.
happen in certain parts of certain cities. People do crazy things, right? So
So, I
wouldn't you
mean,
say there's something about sex, the nature of sex, where it's a private activity between two people?
yes, sex, but I guess masturbation, no.
Well,
'Cause-
but the question you asked was with people on a screen.
right. You, I guess that leads me to my next question is, so if you're not watching anything and you're self pleasuring yourself, wha- you have to get there with a certain level of thoughts. So, I mean, you consider that cheating if the thoughts are outside the relationship
So
or
using
something else
fantasy.
that, correct.
Yeah, well, I think here would be my question. Are you in a relationship?
Yeah, yeah, I am.
You married to a woman or dating a
We've
woman?
been, yeah, we've been dating for about a year.
I would. Here's the question. What I would invite you to do is just go ask your partner. Hey, when I masturbate, I think about this person, about this porn star, putting my eggplant into this hole, doing this thing for this duration of time until I climax. I'm imagining myself with that person. How do you feel about that? And see what she says.
Yeah, most likely that conversation wouldn't go well.
Well, there's your answer.
Yeah, okay. I understand it's
Why do you think the
probably,
conversation wouldn't go well?
I mean, no one wants to hear that, but the reality of the situation is most people probably do that. So, I mean, it's one of those unsaid things in relationships.
Well, it doesn't
But I
have to
don't
be
think,
for
yeah,
you.
right. But I don't, again, I don't think it's cheating if if you're fantasizing or you're watching on the other screen.
Well,
I think that if you and your
I mean,
partner have a
again, go
discussion,
with
go ahead.
that hypothetical, asking your partner that. Ask her what, if it's not cheating. Ask her what it feels like. What is it then if it's not cheating?
It's a fantasy.
No, I think the question becomes is should should it be something you're doing or not?
Morally, I guess we can get into the morals of it, but yeah, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, I know we all have our own thoughts. We're all a part of this world. We walk down the street and we see beautiful people all the time. We see
Yeah,
advertisements,
I see
TV
beautiful people
shows.
all the time too. There's nothing wrong with beautiful people. Beautiful people are beautiful. However, it's what we do when we see a beautiful person that makes the difference. Do I go home and masturbate about the beautiful person, or do I view them as a whole being with a soul and dignity and value and worth? Or do I reduce them down just to body parts so that I can masturbate to them later?
Do you think it's wrong if I walk down the street, I see someone who I think is attractive, and I'm like, yep, I'd do it with her.
Do I think it's wrong? I would, again, I would say, what would your partner think about that? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
ask your
it's
partner
just
that question. If you're to be like, hey, partner, I was walking down the street the other day and I saw this totally hot chick and I really want to do her. How do you think your partner would respond?
I get that, but there's a difference between thoughts and actually acting upon it.
100%. You can't help the first look, but you can help the second look. Or you can't help the first thought, but you can help the second thought, or if you act on that thought or not.
Right, and I think that's what differentiates cheating is right there is the action around
Yeah,
that.
but the difference in the example you gave is I see a person and then I think to myself, here's what I'd like to do. And you're running with that thought. Right? Instead, it could be, hey, I see this person. I can't help that this person is there. And maybe there was some arousal, but I'm just going to stop that right there because this is not the man that I want to be. I'm committed to my partner.
Right. No, I mean I
Which
get them.
which which way do you think would be more honoring to your partner?
Stopping the thoughts.
So why not strive for that?
Yeah, it's a perfect world for sure.
Well, it's definitely not a perfect world, man. That's for sure. But do you want to do what everybody else does? Or do you want to strive to be the best version of yourself, the best partner for your partner?
Yeah, every single day. I think it's important to do that.
Yeah. Well,
But I think I think you got to choose your battles here, man. And I think there's if it's thoughts or if you're not acting on these thoughts and you're every once in a while watching porn or you're self pleasuring and thinking about something or I don't think that's wrong. And I honestly don't have a problem with my partner doing it as well if we're both committed to each other at the end of the day and there's a lot of trust there.
yeah.
I think there's a lot of other things you can do to better yourself as a couple, which is working out, eating healthy, educating yourself, surrounding yourself with the right group of people, work. So, I mean, I think there's other things on their priority list other than fantasies or,
Well, I would say put ceasing to objectify other people for sexual pleasure is a pretty good thing to do. Like, is it wrong to have those thoughts? I don't think it's wrong, but the question is, do you want to objectify people or not? Do you think it's good for you to practice and reinforce sexual objectification of strangers? Because here's where that goes: is how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you're doing that in private, you're going to do it in public as well. And the reason why somebody, I know you're using an example, but somebody like you and I've been there, man. I was addicted to porn for 20 years, so I got it. The reason why people who watch a lot of porn go out in public and just see women in this example and think automatically, oh, the things I do to her, it's because of what they're doing in their private thought life. They're training their brains to, by default, see a woman objectify. See a woman objectify. Imagine the things that I would do to her. And that really becomes toxic for your brain when that's all you see people is reducing them down to their sexual value. You stop
no, I
seeing the
agree.
full dignity of the person. And that
100%
permeates
agree.
every aspect of your life. So,
Right. If you let it get out of control, correct. If those are constant thoughts in your head all the time, I mean, yes, if you're addicted to something, then yes, I mean, it'll permeate into other things. So, no, I get it. I mean, there's a level of excessiveness to it, which could definitely is wrong. But yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
Thanks
I
for
get
sharing,
it,
man.
man. Yeah, good
Yeah.
conversation. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. You too. See ya. Bye-bye. All right. Yeah, that was a good combo. Appreciate that, man. They're not all like that, we'll just say. And hello, people. Who are you, Danielle, Lorraine? And why are you talking to me? I'm not your friend. Who? Oh, Krista. It's been so long. I forgetting people's names. Uh, I reposted your chat. Oh, I did. When you were on here. Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, sorry. My apologies. Hello, good to see you. Oh, all right. I don't know that I want to let this person on because of her picture, but we're just gonna see what happens. Oh, good. She wasn't actually there. I'm almost done reading Daring Greatly. Isn't Daring Greatly a good book? Way to go, Brene Brown. I didn't have a problem with corn until my partner was only watching and not doing it with me. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Danielle. I apologize. The thing is, when I publish videos, oftentimes I don't say the person's name, but whatever. No excuses. I didn't remember you. Worst nightmare. Hey, what's going on?
I'm nothing much. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. Are you 18 or over?
I'm 32.
Okay. What's going on?
I used to think it was cheating, but then I fell sick all the time. And that's not really my husband's fault, so I normally can't do anything. I don't consider porn cheating. I'd rather him watch that versus going out and actually doing something with someone else.
Okay, why are you sick all the time?
I keep having surgeries on my stomach because I had my son and he ripped open my abdomen. So I had to have reconstruction
Freaking
abdomen
kids, man.
surgery. And then I had mesh put in. And he's in the Navy, so I have to do a lot by myself. And I had to hold my son 5 days after surgery and rip that back open.
Yeah.
So it's just
Wow.
constant going back and forth the past 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
So recently, no, I do not find it cheating. But beforehand, I would have been.
Yeah, that sucks that you went through that or are going through that. So you used to find it's cheating, but now because of what you've gone through physically, you're okay with it.
I'm open more to it because, like I said, I'd rather him just do it at home than him find somebody else while I'm in the process of healing.
Yeah. All right.
So no, I don't find anything.
Okay. Well, what else would be possible?
Like, I do stuff for him, but I don't know how he views it differently. And I'm up with the kids a lot because my son has colic, so it's not like I can be near him a lot.
But well, here can I challenge you?
Yes.
Okay. So I would say that there's plenty of other possibilities between. Again, we don't need to talk about the specifics of your sex life. Whatever you guys were doing before having a kid and your medical stuff, and him watching porn. I would say there's tons of possibilities in between there, right? That wouldn't have to involve him objectifying other women, using other women for his sexual pleasure. Would you agree that it's possible?
That's possible, yeah.
Okay. Is that something you'd want to explore?
It is, but it's like my confidence levels went down a lot because I have a scar from my rib cage to my lower stomach and then all the other stuff. So I'm trying to find myself again, knowing that I still make him feel some type of way. So it's healing within myself also.
Yeah. So what happened to your confidence?
With the scarring and the loose stomach now, it's went down a lot because I never used to be that way. And it's harder for me to work out and lose the baby weight because I cannot. Even though he says he finds me attractive, I knew what his type was before, and I'm no longer that.
Is this your first baby?
No, it's my second. The other one wasn't that bad, and I lost all the weight. And it was easy pregnancy.
Okay. So it seems as though your body's changed, right? That happens with kids.
Yes.
And your confidence has gone down. I heard you say like you know what he likes.
Yes.
I'm curious why your solution to all of that is for him to go masturbate while watching strangers have sex as a way for him to feel sexually fulfilled.
See, the way you word it makes me feel differently. because wasn't thinking about it like that at first.
Okay. Why do you feel differently when you hear it back that way?
Because like hearing stuff from yourself, you make an easy plot in your head. Okay, this is going to work. But when you hear somebody word it different, it puts a more logical sense on what's going on.
Yeah. Well, look, it's because you courageously shared vulnerably what's going on for you. And you also allowed me to feed it back to you.
Yeah, I'm a very open person.
Yeah. What do you want to be different?
I'm not really sure. Honestly, I just want him to remain happy. I don't. If he's not happy, I'm not happy. And I'm trying to maintain that for him.
Why do you put your ability to be happy on if he's happy?
I put my ability for everybody to be happy before me, like my kids and him. Like, I'm not the type of person that likes to put myself first. I grew up really rough, and it's easier for me to make people happy versus I can handle myself at the end of the day. Like, I could lay down in bed and be like, tomorrow will be better. But I don't know.
Who taught you that?
I didn't have a mom and a dad, so a lump sum of foster parents, they don't guide you. So my whole life I was doing everything myself.
Yeah. How old were you when you were put in the foster system?
I was 12. So 12 to 18.
Yeah, and that can, certainly, it teaches you a lot, good or
It
bad.
does, but a lot of the wrong things also. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't graduate, I didn't go to college, so it's like I am lacking some of the common knowledge when it comes to certain things, like always second guess myself, if that makes sense.
Oh, it totally makes sense. And you're a mom of 2 kids, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Look at what you've done. Look at what you've accomplished.
I always learned that the hard lessons I live, my children will never ever go through that. I think that's another thing with the sex life too, is I'm always moving and doing stuff, and I don't put that time back for myself, even if I could. It's always do everything all day and go to bed.
Yeah. Do you think you deserve to be happy?
I do. I know I deserve to be happy, but it's the littlest things that do make me happy, if that makes sense. It doesn't have to.
Well, hold on. I want to ask you the question again, and just answer it. Don't put any qualifier or anything after it. Do you think you deserve to be happy?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, just like let that be. Yeah, I deserve
Okay.
to be happy. Period. Or maybe exclamation mark.
Maybe that's the part.
Yeah.
But I understand. Hopefully one day I'll come to terms with that and stop adding the extra words to, yes, I deserve
Well,
something.
you're not wrong. Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong, but it just feels different when you say it like that, doesn't it?
It does. It really does.
Yeah. What would make you happy? Just like one thing. I get like $1 million, $1 billion. That would buy you a certain amount of happiness, but within reason, like what would make you happy? If something could be different in your life, or explore.
I don't know. If I knew for sure in my head that my kids will forever be good, if something happens to me, that'd be the one thing that would make me truly happy always.
And what does that mean, that your kids would be good if something were to happen to you?
Because, like, on top of that, I have seizures and everything, so I never know in my last moment. Nobody does. So I have sleep seizures and I have focal seizures. So I don't take life lightly like most people do. Like, I'm every day in my head. I think that adds to stress also.
Besides that, because that's a very, right, like you really can't know that your kids are going to be fine after you go, right? You get what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
hoping the heals and the sex life goes back to normal, honestly.
say it again?
So I said I hope I heal better if my sex life goes back to normal, honestly.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is maybe during this season, postpartum, and all the other stuff going on with your body, like maybe it just looks different for this season,
Yeah,
and maybe that's okay.
you're not wrong.
Yeah. So the question is like, what conversation may you want to have with your partner
The
if
one
what
that
you're
don't
actually
stutter.
what's that?
The one that doesn't make me stutter when I start talking about it.
Okay. Why do you
But yeah,
why do you stutter when you talk about it?
because I get nervous. It's harder to talk to him because we're the ones that are actually doing it. But when I can bring it up to somebody else, it's easier to be like, hey, I need to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because I don't want him to take it as, oh, I'm saying this, and then him turn around on something else and it be misconstrued.
What are you wanting to say to him?
That I still want you. It's not you that makes like me not want to do anything. It's just me right now, and I need my time to heal. So don't think it's because I don't find you attractive.
Do you want him watching porn, or do you want him to not watch porn?
Probably not.
Okay. And again, do you think that between whatever your sex life was and him watching porn, do you think you guys can find something in between there that would help get through this season?
I think we can. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And and that I would say like that's worth fighting for. Not like it needs to be a fight, right? But it's like, yeah, it's going to be hard. It's going to be different. It's going to be uncomfortable. Let's talk about what could be different here.
You're right.
Yeah.
And I don't say people are right often, so.
Well, it's not about being right or wrong. I'm not trying to be right. What I
I
am
don't
trying to
know.
do is just to help you see other possibilities that may exist.
And I will.
Yeah.
So thank you. Sorry I'm awkward at conversation. It's not.
Find me one person who's not awkward in conversations. At least on TikTok.
But
You're
thank
not
you for
awkward, by
talking
the
to
way.
me.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
Have a good night.
All right. All right. You too. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Y'all did great. All right. She did great. I feel that guy Flux. I feel like you're trying to bait me into saying something about an E. coli outbreak, but I did Google it. And so what's going on? What happened? I feel like though a McDonald's E. coli outbreak, this has. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but there was one person who was working in a McDonald's yesterday, and now there's an E. coli outbreak. All right. Anyways, let's talk about porn. I feel like I haven't caught you live in a minute. Yeah, it's been a week, Shy Butterfly. I feel like it's been forever. Isabel, hey there, what's going on?
Hi. So actually, I'm 20 and I'm in a long distance relationship with my boyfriend who is also 20. We've been together about a year now. We were not always long distance, but because of work in May, he had to go to Colorado and I'm down here in Florida now because of school until I can move back there in January. And it's just something that's really been difficult because it's like, you know, what what really is the options when you're not with your partner. I mean, you can send things and stuff like that, but I mean, I go to school full time and work full time. You don't always have time to meet all those needs, especially long distance.
Well, how did they do it back in the day in the Oregon Trail? How'd they do it? They found a way to do it without porn.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's just honestly, it just is something I've talked about, but it's just I don't really know how to go about it with my partner, especially because the long distance. I know if it was a long distance, that would not even be a something that's in our relationship, but because it is, it's just something I feel like I have to accept.
You feel like you have to accept what? His pornography use?
Yes.
Okay. But do you really feel like that's the only way? Like you have to do that?
I mean, I feel like
Does
there's
that feel right to you to say, hey, because we're long distance, the only option here is that I concede to the fact that my boyfriend is going to masturbate while watching other women have sex? Like, does that really feel true for you?
I'm going to be honest, I don't agree with it. I mean, like I said, I mean, we've exchanged, personal things, but other than that, I mean, I don't really know any other option besides just being okay with it.
Okay. Well, did you hear my conversation with the previous person?
Yeah.
Okay. So will you just explore if there's doing nothing, let's just say abstaining from any sexual activity. Okay. Actually, no. Let's say a different end, a bookend. You guys move back together. Okay. That or masturbating while watching other people have sex. Can you think of any other possibilities between there that don't include porn?
I mean, like I mentioned, I mean, we've exchanged stuff, but personally, but other than that, I mean, I am in nursing school full time and work full time, and there's days that I'm working from 9 a.m. until 1 a.m. It's not something that's ideal for me always.
Yeah, well, here's the thing is, let's just say, and I don't love the fact that you're creating porn and sending it to him because porn is still porn. But let's just say that that's like a good option for the sake of argument, right? Why not just use that?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't know. I just was wondering what your opinion was on that.
Well, it's not about what my opinion is, and it's not about being right. I'm not trying to be right. But you seem like your body's not okay with this. You're allowing something that
I
you
agree.
otherwise would not have allowed. So the question is, why are you doing that? And what do you really want to be different? And what uncomfortable conversation might you have to, advocate for some change here?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, he has bought like sexual toys, and that's where I honestly draw the line. I don't know if that's wrong or not, but I felt like, I mean, I don't know if it was because I feel jealous or how, but I just don't. I was not okay with that, so I don't know if maybe that would have changed the situation, but I didn't feel right about that.
So what are you wanting?
So I told him to get rid of it, and I didn't mean to sound like the bad guy with that, but I mean.
Hey, hold on real quick. Did you feel like I shamed you for what I said about like creating your own content?
Oh, no, you're fine, you're fine.
Okay. So by the way, chat, whatever you're reading into didn't happen. I did state that if you create content for one another, you're creating porn for one another. That's just what it is. That's not an opinion. That's a statement of fact. If you're creating content of yourself, that's porn. Go ahead.
I do think it's better when you're watching your partner rather than a stranger. Is it not?
Well, that's why I asked you that question. If that's something you guys are doing, why not just do that? Right? As opposed to bringing strangers into it.
Yeah. I agree, but daily is like, I mean, if my life wasn't so busy, I could see that. But I mean, it's just, there's so much going on, you know?
Well, and here's the thing is, these conversations you're having about this, these are very similar conversations to what you might have even if you guys lived in the same city.
Yeah.
Right? And so the invitation is like, now's the time to navigate these conversations and figure out like what you guys want to do with that. assuming that there's a future for you guys in your relationship, right? You know, because you get married, you have kids, you have multiple kids. I mean, life gets
Yeah, life
complicated.
gets busy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I would just assert that, in my opinion, porn is not a great replacement for that. Like, hey, well, we couldn't find to do it, so let's masturbate while watching strangers have sex. Like,
I honestly, I mean, maybe this is just backwards thinking, but I think I prefer him to not have like a like masturbator toy, whatever. I don't know. I just feel like then you're definitely, imagining being with somebody else if you have one of those. I mean, you literally can feel like you're with somebody else.
now she's cooking with fire. Let it rip,
I mean,
Isabel.
that's how I feel.
Yeah. Does he have a
I mean,
toy?
that's why I wasn't okay with that. But I don't know.
Yeah. See, it's more about his heart towards you, right? And him fulfilling his sexual desire. Is he using self-control and discipline or not? Is he just trying to satisfy every little desire that he has?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just hard because I know this would not be an issue. I mean, we were lived together before. I mean, it was never an issue until, long distance.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Well, you're asking good questions. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. I was just wanting to get another point of view because honestly, it's something that I've been thinking about, and I don't know how other people in long distance relationships handle it. It's just very foreign to me because I've never had to be in a long distance relationship.
Yeah. Well, it's a good question. I mean, a lot of people, they do use porn. And in my experience, a lot of people, both men and women, oftentimes we hear more from the women, they're not okay with it because they're actually going against a core belief. And that belief is like, he should only be reserving that for me. And it violates that. But like you kind of get gaslit, I'll say by society, not even him, by society of being like, oh, I must accept this. It has to be okay. And it's totally okay for you to challenge that belief.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Okay,
thanks for
well, I
sharing.
appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye. All right. I want to ban that person. Who is it? If she keeps running her mouth, I'll ban her. Who's next? I name Nick. What's up, man?
Oh shit! Damn. Okay, I didn't even expect to come up on here.
Well,
Yeah.
here you are. What kind of porn do you
Okay.
watch?
Yeah. Well, here I am. Well, actually, what I was wondering, I don't know what the point of, not the point. That sounds negative. I'm wondering what your, I guess, are you just asking people and just giving people, I guess, a platform to speak out on, or are you trying to, I guess, make a point, or what?
Yes, all of it.
All of it. Okay,
I
gotcha.
give a platform for people to speak. I'll share my opinion. I'll, maybe debate you if you want to. Whatever you want. What do you want to talk about?
No, okay, I see. I got you. Well, I guess I'll just give my own thoughts on it. I've been on both sides. I was raised in a Christian family, and I wasn't able. I guess I wouldn't say I wasn't able, but I didn't really want. I didn't have the desire to even try to separate the idea of sex and like the actual physical actions of it and the imagination of it. But now that I've been married for 10 years, happily married, and we experiment a little here and there, like we'll bring another woman in or here and there, and we have our boundaries that we set early on, right? So, but I'm very firm in the belief that if you love someone and you want to live your life with them, but if you cannot give up the corn, because they don't want you. Like, if you can't give that up for your spouse, then I don't think that you deserve that person. Like, if you actually do love that person, then I feel like that's something that should not be a difficult decision. You should be able to give that up for them if they are uncomfortable with it, if that is their boundaries to it. And at that point, you got to decide what's more important to you. So I just think it's all about respect and communication and boundaries. I think it's doable on both sides, and I understand everyone's situation is different. Like, some people are in a relationship and people change, but I also think that people should really stick by their own beliefs and their boundaries and not feel like they have to change for somebody if they feel internally that it is wrong to them. So anyway, that's just my thoughts.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. So you're in a polyamorous relationship?
I wouldn't say polyamorous. We've only brought in like a third, like here and there when we were in our younger years, and it was nothing. I mean, it was fun. Nothing ever negative happened to it, but I mean, we haven't done it with, in like, I don't know, the last 5 years, and neither of us really have the urge to do that anymore, but we did it and it was fun, and it is what it is. There was no problems, but we are also very like, we also communicate about it a lot. We're very open about it. So
you were in a polyamorous relationship and now you're not?
Yeah, we experimented actually 4 times to be exact.
Got it. Okay.
Within the last 10 years. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But now you're, it's just the two of you, unless one of you guys change your mind and you agree to it, you maybe would go back and explore that.
Yeah. If we want to talk about it and we both agree.
Okay. Do you watch porn?
Yeah.
By yourself or with your partner?
Both.
Okay. How is that serving you? Like, what does it do for you?
It's just, it's fun. I guess by myself it's less fun, but I wouldn't say it's ever been it's ever had like a real negative impact, but I also don't really indulge into it too much, but I don't really ever feel bad for it. But I do understand it does create an addiction for a lot of people, and everyone's different. So that's why it's hard for me to say, because I know that maybe I'm an outlier, and I understand that because a lot of my friends struggle with it very much so. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like I'm fulfilled in my life and reality with me and my wife, and I don't know. Maybe it's that I'm fulfilled enough to where I don't feel like I can develop this problem of watching porn by myself and disrespecting my wife's boundaries and wishes. And if it ever became a problem for her, I would feel terribly. Like I would, I would not want that at all, Mm-hmm. So
yeah. How old were you when you first started watching porn?
Let's see. I want to say like 17.
Oh wow, that's pretty late.
Yeah, it was pretty late.
How old are you?
Yeah. I'm 33.
Well, that's like uncommonly late for somebody your age.
Yeah, I was. The internet was. We had dial-up, and at 17, we barely just got internet. So, maybe that was the case. Mm-hmm. But I also grew up in a very strict Christian home, and I was very devout. I was a very devout Christian up until about 25 years old. So, that's how I lived my life.
That doesn't mean anything, though. Plenty of people grew up in strict religious households, and porn use can oftentimes be worse in those households.
No, exactly. Households. Very much so. I agree with that.
It sounds like yours is very rigid, and there was no room for anything.
Well, no. It was actually my parents were more lenient than most, and I feel like maybe that has something to do with it within my church. And I just loved being in youth group and stuff, and as a teenager, I was very devout. Like youth group, 4 days, 4 days out of the week, we always had something going on, and it was just my entire identity, my whole life. And
Yeah.
And that was the reason,
Do you think you ever really actually believed it, or were you just playing your part in that system?
Oh no, I 100% believed it. Like
Oh.
it was everything to me. So yeah.
And how did you go from there to whatever, when you're 24, 25, to really what I want to say is like to being in a polyamorous relationship? Not that just because you're Christian means that you wouldn't do that, but
Right.
how like what happened over those years?
Well, I want to say between the ages of 22 and 25 was when I really started, I guess. Oh man, this is I guess the religious thing is it's a whole other conversation in my head, but like
It's all connected, bro.
yeah, it is. It is. You're right. And yep, I started really, I guess, questioning not just my religion, but I wanted to learn about the other. I started getting into Hermetic philosophy a lot. It started.
What
It
is that?
started to open my. What's that? Sorry.
What is that?
Oh, just a lot of the ancient teachings of Thoth and then the ancient Egyptians and seeing that everything, almost everything that was all of the teachings from my I guess from my understanding was that a lot of these major religions in the world got a lot of these stories are just eerily similar, and it started making me question things, so I just started diving deeper into it.
Got
I
it.
went through my atheistic phase. I'm not an atheist I mean, I wouldn't claim that there is no God, but that started really kind of make me question things. It all came full circle. It's just a never ending rabbit hole for me at this point. But I
Hmm.
still do believe in the core values that the major religions teach, and I see that it has a positive impact on society and life. So I mean, I don't completely denounce it, and I was raised in a very healthy family and everything, and they were all based off of Christian beliefs. And my wife is a Muslim. She grew up Muslim. She's Pakistani, and she also had a very healthy upbringing. And like I see the core values of religion being very positive on society. So that just kind of opened my eyes. Now I'm just very open minded to things. I don't think that everything has this spiritual like connection. Um, I believe that sex can have a very spiritual connection, and it can also just be physical. So we explored that together, and together we decided that yeah, it was fun. Do we want to do this all the time? Nope. But here and there, we did it here and there for the first 5 years. I would say maybe once a year for the first 4 to 5 years. We did it 4 times.
Hmm.
Brought another girl, but I had my boundaries.
Yeah, so you're kind of
I
exploring that.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And I was very clear to her. I was like, I'm not asking for you to bring in another girl, right? Like this is not what I'm asking because I am not open to bringing in another guy, right? So like I didn't want to be unfair, but she said she likes girls as well. So we could do that. So we explored it together. We do it here and there, and then we decide later on we're not really like yeah, we had fun, we explored, we did our thing, and we realized like okay,
Two is
we're
better
fine
than
at
three.
doing it.
Was your
Yeah,
conclusion?
honestly, yes,
Got it.
exactly. Yep. So
What's up,
I don't
brother?
know. Anyway, I feel like I'm just
All right.
rambling at this point.
Yeah, you are a little bit, but that's okay. Probably you're probably not used to talking about your prior threesomes on social
Yeah,
media
yeah,
publicly.
very
Is that
much
fair?
so. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for understanding.
Yeah, I got you. Thanks for sharing, by the way. So, why did you come on here to talk? I'm curious. Like, what?
Honestly, when I first like right when I came on, I saw your headline and I requested it because I wanted to see what your stance was.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you hear my stance?
No, I didn't.
All right. Well, I think if you're in a committed monogamous relationship with another person and you've said something like, I love you and only you, mind, body, and soul till death do us part. I think if you deviate from that agreement or commitment, whether that's with a person on a screen or otherwise, I think that that's going against the agreement and therefore cheating.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I see. Nope. I see exactly what you mean. Yep.
Pretty simple, huh?
Yeah. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
So,
right, man. Thanks for
all
sharing.
right. Cool. Yes, sir. All right, man. How's it going?
You too. See ya. What's up, Hannah? Honestly, though, corn has helped couples too. Not always damaging. Cite your source. All right. Pick me. Okay, Angel Baby. I always regret when I pick the pick me people. Hi there, what's going on? Okay.
How do
we
I
got background noise. She doesn't know how to do it.
Okay, yeah,
But
I
she wanted me
do.
to pick her.
TV off.
She's
I've
talking to
spoken to
someone
you
else.
already.
What? Are you there? Hello? Can you hear me? No, she's muted.
Am I
Hello?
there?
Yes. Hi there.
Hi.
What's up?
I have talked to you before.
All right.
When I did speak with you, I had really bad pneumonia, so I couldn't be
Oh.
understood.
Okay. Sorry to hear that. Are you better?
My life, very much so, very much so.
All right.
My life started out very much with generational trauma. My dad is a sex addict and forced my mom to be a sex addict. So I knew of all kinds of affairs. They watched pornography in the house. Us kids were not in the same room, but we still heard what was going on, and it still affected us. As I grew up and grew older, I saw my dad's affairs and the pornography, the books, the magazines, the movies. Go to when I turned 17, I ended up with my high school sweetheart, who I thought was a really, really nice guy, who I then found out had a secret porn addiction. He had magazines, he had videos, he had pretty much everything. And living in the house I was living into, there was quite a bit of abuse. So at a young age, I wanted out of that house. So I did get married at 17. I did marry my high school sweetheart at 17. When we got married, I thought things were going to be good. However, my husband began to have parties, and he would bring the pornography into it. And then he would get everybody drinking. And I believe some people's drinks were probably spiked, including my own. And I was passed around. So I didn't have a lot of support from my parents because they had their own stuff going on. I was the oldest of 5. I stayed with my husband. At 17, we were married a month before my 18th birthday. When I was 19, I had my first son. 2 years later, I had my second son. I was moved away from family. When I moved away from family, like out of province, I was then at the hands of my husband totally. My parents had no phone. I had no communication with anyone. We went from him, again, beginning to watch pornography to wanting me participating and doing the same acts of pornography on him as I was watching on the TV. And it was never my choice to do any of these things. But because I didn't want to lose my husband, I was alone. I did these things. After a while, wasn't good enough. My husband wanted me to work. There wasn't much I could do. I was a stay-at-home mom. He found someone that was looking for a telephone sex line operator. And I have the ability to put it this way. Hi, my name's Laura Lee. How can I help you? You know,
I got
I
it.
can give it, you know. And for 3 years, that was my life because I was made to do that. If I wasn't, the marriage was going to be ended and he was going to keep the kids. His family had money. From that, it escalated to him being abusive when I stopped performing acts or wanting to do these phone calls or it came to the point where the people I was working for the phone calls were hiring escorts. And I'm not going to lie, I got pushed into that. And that was the hardest part of my life. And there was nothing I could do. And it just seemed like he tried to groom me, even though I fought. I'm not a weak person, but I knew I was being groomed. I knew what was happening, but I just didn't know how to get out of it. And in the end, my sons were 8 and 11. I picked myself up and I said, this is not a good life. This is not a life I want repeated, because the children, they know, no matter how much you think you're keeping from your kids, when you're watching porn, when you're being with another person, you can't think that those children are dumb, because you know what? I remember those things. And as that's something I never wanted my kids to continue on with. I picked up my things and I moved home to my mom, who at this time realized that that was not a life I should have been living. But this whole lifestyle stemmed from just pornographic magazines to movies. If a lot of people on here don't realize, a lot of the women in the movies, they're not there because they want to be there. Those are not acts they're performing because they really want to. And you get caught up in that and you get pushed into that. And I'm lucky that I got my stuff together. I never got involved in alcohol or drugs. God help me if I had, I probably would still be in that lifestyle. And I wouldn't have my children. I now have a life. I've been away for 29 years, married to a wonderful man, and we are so monogamous and happy. But so many young girls don't realize, or boys, young men don't realize, when they're being pushed into watching something that they don't feel is quite right, and they think that it ends at watching a movie or looking at a picture in a book. It doesn't. It's a habit. It's dangerous. And, you know, I just can't imagine going back to that life and my kids having to see or know or do anything like that. And I just want people to know, like, you don't have to choose that. You can walk away. Somebody that makes you do those things is not worth it. And a lot of young girls that I know, I've been able to sit down with and say, hey, you know, you're worth X, Y, and Z. You don't need to do this for a man.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, well, thanks for sharing that. That's a lot. And porn use always escalates.
It does.
That's a pretty severe escalation from your family, right?
Yeah.
But even then, you were conditioned to live in this system of, we'll call it sexual perversion, that became normal to you.
Yes.
And then unfortunately, your husband
it
that
never
going.
Yeah, it was never accepted by me. I cried. I was beaten. I was beaten down emotionally and physically. And there's not a lot of support out there for you. And if you have kids, you're always threatened to have them taken away from you, because my husband came from money. So it's like, who's ever going to believe you? You know, who's. But people are strong. You can be strong, and there's a lot of support out there. And I just say, reach out and keep reaching out. If it's not for you, you shouldn't have to be forced into it. It's not a lifestyle that anybody needs forced on them.
Yeah.
And when you love someone and you have monogamy, I've been with my husband 28 years now, and we're extremely monogamous, and that's not a part of our life whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, good for you for persevering through that and coming out on the other side, and even telling that story here. I mean, look, I hear the emotion, don't get me wrong. And the strength in which you're telling the story it's very clear. Like, you've done some work.
Absolutely. And I will be for the rest of my life. It doesn't go away. There's no quick cure to it, but just know that you don't have to live in that type of lifestyle if you don't choose that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't judge anybody who does, and like, but being on the other end, being groomed, being put to work, being, this is somebody that loved me from the time I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
So,
Totally.
no, but thank you for letting me speak and giving you my side of the story, and hopefully it
Yeah.
helps a few people out there
I
put some
think it did.
thoughts down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very kindly. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
You bet. Have a great one.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Hello.
Hey, man.
What's going on?
Well, I don't know. Just I'm hearing all these stories, and it really sucks to hear that people are going through this stuff. But I kind of want to talk about it in a positive way, where I mean, I'm not talking about like hardcore stuff, but just when you and your partner can enjoy it together. I want to say that benefits the bond. I want to say.
Okay. Tell us more. Enjoy what together?
Well, being intimate together. Like just foreplay and all that.
You talking about sex or porn?
Oh, well, I'm talking about sex related to the porn, because isn't the original thing saying porn is cheating?
Well, yeah, but you're not being specific. So when like enjoying what together? You and your partner watch porn together? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. While being intimate.
Okay. Did you hear the previous conversation?
No, I recently joined, so that's why I guess I'm just jumping the gun here. So, I mean, I'm hearing all these things right now. So can you fill me
Okay.
up on it?
Well, you came on here and said you just heard all these stories and you wanted to bring a positive
I,
light.
I heard
So what were you
the previous
referring
one.
to? What were you referring to?
Well, the last person that she pretty much got molested, essentially, right?
Okay,
And
so you
being
did
forced
hear the
into it.
previous story then?
I heard that one, yeah.
Good. I'm having a hard time tracking because I just asked you if you heard the previous story and you said no, and then I asked you again and you said yes.
Well, no, okay. So yeah, just that one. I'm sorry.
Okay, so you
Just
did.
that one.
So you heard the previous story, and then you thought the next best thing to do as a guest would be to come on here and talk about how you enjoy watching porn with your partner after hearing that story. Am I correct in that?
In a way, yes.
Okay. Why do you think that is a good idea to follow up that story, which is pretty much, with bless her heart for sharing, it really doesn't get
no,
worse
yeah.
than that. Why did you think that that was the best idea to come on and boast about your pornography use?
I'm not boasting about it. I'm just saying that it doesn't always have to be that negative, and I'm sorry that happened to her, and that in her situation that happened to her, but
She
it doesn't have
basically
to be.
said she was abused as a child and trafficked. And then
Yeah,
you're
but
saying you like watching porn with your partner.
no, we enjoy loving is there, but
Enjoy
okay,
is
so
synonymous to like.
okay, yeah. You know what? I guess it
This
was
is a
a
bad
bad time.
idea for you, wasn't it?
It was
Yeah.
a bad idea, yeah. So you know what?
Okay.
Have a good night, man. I'm sorry.
All right, man. All right. Take care.
Bye.
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 Well, a little bit of self-awareness. Hmm. Thanks for sharing, Angel Baby. Why do you guys want me to talk to Ray? I have a guess. Patience is a gift and a curse. Hey there, what's going on?
Hello.
What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I am an adult film creator,
There it
and
is.
I have a very different opinion on this than most people would think I would.
Okay.
I create porn, but I do not watch porn in my personal life. I feel like it is cheating. And from that being my job, like I started it whenever I was 18. So I have changed it a lot, like since when I first began doing that. So I've got to interact with a lot of people. And from all of my experiences and in personal relationships that I've had, I know like the stuff that it does to somebody's brain and like the chemistry behind it. And like when you're watching it and when you're fantasizing about other people and what it can lead to, again, from like speaking to people who have came on my pages and like asking them questions like, do your partners know that you do this, and like how they explain that it's a secret and stuff like that. Of course, you do have some guys like that guy who just said that him and his partner enjoy it, but I don't really believe that. Like, I believe that the girl's probably just trying to satisfy him, and he's probably the one who is encouraging that. And somebody says, is it a form of cheating? Okay, I'm married, and I only have sex with my husband as a male. But I have in the past, when I was 18, for 6 months, I did shoot boy girl. But now I don't believe that. I do shoot with other girls and I do solo content. But in my relationship, like my husband, I don't have sex outside of business unless it's on camera. Like, it's not for pleasure. And the only reason why I do that is because like I did leave the industry and I did like a hiatus for like 5 years. But having regular jobs, I was constantly being harassed and it being brought up in my regular job field. So I had to come up with a way to kind of like, I would say like rebrand who I am in a way to still be able to provide like for my family and all types of stuff like that. But I'm absolutely like against certain
Wait,
types of
hold on. Does your
porn
husband
being
work?
created. Yes, he does.
But he doesn't provide for the family?
No, like I'm the one who, I mean, like he does, but it's more so me.
Why?
I just make significantly more money.
Okay.
My husband has degrees and all of that stuff. Like he's been to college. He does a lot, but like a normal job like doesn't really work right now. You know what I mean?
All right. How old are you?
I'll be 28 this year.
Do you guys have kids?
Yes, we do.
How many?
We have 2.
Okay.
And I have really strong opinions on that as well. I feel like a lot
On
of
what?
people would think like my protecting my children in like ways to keep them away from stuff that I have done and to keep their innocence and protect them.
Do you think you'll be able to keep them away from it for their whole life?
No, that's naive to think, but I do believe that with the right guidance and the right supervision that I can protect them enough to where I can at least teach them things before that would ever happen.
All right. What did you want to share on here? Like, why'd you come on here?
I just wanted to share because I feel like a lot of people think that, you know, like people were commenting whenever I mentioned like, oh, she's the problem. Oh, she's this. Oh, she's that. Yeah, you could say that. But I think a lot of times people don't understand like how people grew up and like what led them to make those choices. And sometimes like whenever you make a choice, that's what you have to roll with, you know what I mean? So like I am an advocate on people making ethical styles of that, and I don't believe that if you're in a relationship that you should be consuming that. I don't believe that children should have access to that. I vote for like age limitations and things that should be banned from certain types of categories from being made and stuff like that. Like I believe that erotic art can be something that you learn from, but I believe that a lot of content that's out there is really damaging to society and teaches people things that are not realistic, and that's what creates these unhealthy habits and helps like get these weird ideas in people's head, which in return gets people hurt.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
in relate to one of the comments. Do you feel like I'm judging you in this
No, I mean
conversation?
like
Okay. So poetess, you said host is choking on the judgment. I don't feel like I'm judging her, neither does she. And you're 0 for 2 so far with implying that I'm judging people. If you go 0 for 3, you're out. I'm going to ban you. Okay. So just a fair warning to you.
I mean, honestly, even if somebody was judging me, I'm a Christian. I understand that everything that I do doesn't align with a lot of things, but I do know that like I have a pure heart. I do things and I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. Like I'm constantly looking for ways to replace the revenue and like find new avenues. But at the same time, like it's dumb to think that other people wouldn't find an issue with what I do.
Yeah. Can I ask you how much you make?
I make like over 600,000 a year.
Okay. Yeah, it's quite a bit to replace.
Lindsay says, "You're Christian. Do you know what the Bible says about this?" Lindsay, I understand that every sin is the same. No sin is greater than another. So that answers your question right there. And I don't cheat on my husband. I don't lie to my husband. Everything that I do
Hey, Ray,
is there.
we can get lost in addressing the comments. Okay. So if you want to do that, you could just get off here and talk to people in the comments. Okay. But I actually want to talk to you. Are you okay with that?
Definitely. That's why I requested to be in here.
Yeah. And I'm also not suggesting we can't look at the comments, but you get what I'm saying. So you said something about whatever got you into it to start. You said you got into it when you were 18. So what happened leading up to that got you into it?
Yeah, so growing up, my mom left and I was raised by my half-sister's dad. And whenever I got into 8th grade, it started getting really weird at home, like being sexualized and like weird stuff was happening that progressed to him like taking photos of me, having me give him lap dances, having to drink with him and a whole bunch of stuff.
At
So
what
whenever
age?
that started in 8th grade.
Oh,
And then I finally left at 17 and I moved in with my grandparents. I graduated high school a year early and I got a wrestling walk-on scholarship at a school, but I didn't really have money, so I was driving back home to host for a regular nightclub, and they invited me to host an after party, and I hosted it, and I actually ended up winning this random competition called Miss Exotica that they put me in as a joke, like in the finals round, and then I got a whole bunch of offers with lots of money, and like I said, I didn't have money. So in my brain, I was like, okay, nobody's gonna know, you know what I mean? I'll just go do some solo nude stuff. I got paid a lot of money and then kind of just snowballed from there. And it was like 6 months of my life where I was doing that and then I quit and I was hiding from the world for like 5 years. But I got pretty viral on the internet. And so like I was experiencing a lot of scary things like harassment and sexual harassment within the workplaces, like having my bosses like pull up my porn in the office with the door closed, like weird stuff was happening. And so I eventually like just started an OnlyFans account, and that's whenever I was just like, I'll just make money this way.
got it.
That's kind of what happened.
And you've been doing it ever since then?
I mean, yeah, I started back in 2020, but at first it was just like 6 months of my life when I was 18.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So first of all, with what happened when you were young, I mean, that's terrible. That shouldn't happen.
Yeah, I think that's why like I was like, it was easy for me to not think that it was bad, like think that it was like normal.
Well,
you know?
yeah, I mean, look, there's this crazy thing in some of the, recovery literature that I read. It's like what you eventually gravitated towards may have actually been less bad than what you experienced at home. So
Definitely.
you may have actually found safety in what you were doing because it felt safer than
Yeah, also
being
often think that
abused
like it feels like
your
taking your power back a little bit.
yeah, your primary male caregiver was abusing you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you make well over 6 figures, closer to $1 million than not, a year. Do you, I don't know, I don't want to offend you when I ask the question, but do you really want to be doing this, what you're doing? And if so, okay, I'm curious why. And if not, is there a path out of it for you?
Yeah, I think there's a path out. It's just being scared of like, what if I fail? Do I have enough prepared for whenever I do to make sure that like everything goes smoothly?
Well, what's your lifestyle like? I mean, 600 grand's a lot of money, right?
My lifestyle is pretty, I would say I live below my means. Like, I want to buy a house. Like, I don't own a house. It's like I have a lot of debt from college, and like I
How,
take care of a family. So it's like I have things that I'm trying to do. Like, my taxes are a lot because like my job isn't really like a job where I get to write off all my expenses because they don't get notice like they don't get to be picked, like certain things like my nails and my everything like that. It's not really a write off.
you gross 600 grand a year annually, and that's just on OF or similar things like that?
I mean, yeah, that's gross, but like take home after all my expenses and stuff like that
No, I
is
got
not
that,
that.
but your expenses aren't really that high, right?
Not really. I mean,
Personal
like
care, I got that.
insurance is
What's
like
that? Maybe,
$1,200 a month,
yeah, maybe a few grand a year or something like that.
and then I have like my rent, and then I have like my car payments, my cell phones, like all that.
Yeah. I mean, look, let's just say you're paying half that in taxes, which you're not. But let's just say for easy numbers, you bring home 300. I mean, that's what, 6 times the average family of four in America makes?
Yeah, I think a lot of times I think I have to like tell myself that like I have a really big fear of being poor because I grew up really poor.
How much money do you have in the bank? And you
I
don't have to be
have
specific, but is it like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, hundreds of dollars,
tens of thousands.
tens of thousands? Where does all the money go?
I mean, it goes like it gets high sometimes, but then I might have like a big expense like that I have to do, like take out money. But like I put stuff in my IRA, my husband's IRA, my kids like education. Like I put stuff for like dumb shit. Like when I moved and I waited more than 60 days for it to switch my insurance over, then I had got hit with ER bills from fracturing my rib. Like just random stuff happens. Like I had to pay back taxes and all that stuff, which was like close to $98,000. And then like, like every time I get up, it's like something happens.
Got it. Okay, so well, something about the math ain't mathin', but I don't want this to be a financial conversation. Call into Dave Ramsey if you want to talk about that. But back to like if you're not wanting to be in it, which you haven't said that you don't want to, but I'm sure the thought has crossed your mind. Is that something you're wanting, and if so, what's the path out?
I feel like I go back and forth with like being okay and being like, okay, it's fine. And then I go to another mindset where I'm like, I don't really like this. Like, this isn't where I wanted to be. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Well, morally,
Hannah Montana.
for you, do you like? Is this where you want to be? Do you think that this is the best and highest and most honorable use of your gifts and
No.
talents for the world? No. Okay. Then why do you do it?
I guess because I kind of feel like I have to. I don't know. It's a weird feeling.
Well, can I offer you a different perspective?
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't have to. You're choosing to.
Because it's easier.
It's easier, and especially when money gets involved, right? Yeah, somebody said money is seductive. Yeah, absolutely. It's seductive, especially that kind of money, right? But, you even mentioned something about kind of protecting your kids from this. I mean, spoiler alert, and I know you agreed, you're not going to be able to keep this cat in the bag
Yeah.
your whole life, right? There can be, and again, I want to be like, I'm not suggesting that your path has to be different, though if you wanted to, it certainly can. But there can be a redemption story here. You know, you got into this thing, you were abused as a kid, you found yourself at this wrestling thing, and people are paying attention to you, they're paying you to do stuff, you get involved in it, you take a hiatus for 5 years, and now you find yourself doing it again. You're not even 30. Like you can reinvent yourself in a very different way.
And I'm trying to, like,
Yeah.
I recently had my first ever, like, professional boxing match, and I won. Like, certain things are starting to happen, like I'm writing a book and, like, all types of things like that. So I feel like there's a shift coming, you know, just trying to, like, navigate it and figure it out. And I don't work a lot. Like, a lot of girls work every day. Like, they do a bunch of stuff. Like, I don't really work a lot, like, at all. Like, I already have changed that significantly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hi from Arizona. I'm in Arizona too. Well, here's the question, right? Have you heard the analogy of like burning the boat? When you want to do something new and different, you got to burn the boat so you can't go back.
Yeah, like burning the bridge too.
Yeah, exactly. That's one possibility. The other thing is like, do you believe that a woman's body is a marketplace to be bought and sold?
No, I feel like male and female bodies can be sold.
Well,
and like,
but
not
do
saying
you
that
believe?
that's right.
Just do you believe it? No buts, no ands. Just do you believe that a woman's body or a man's body, we'll say, should be a marketplace
I don't
to be
think it
bought and
should
sold?
be.
Okay. Then the question is, when will you start acting that way, if that's what your belief is?
I don't know. Like, that's another thing. It's like when people ask me for advice on like how to get into the industry, my answer is always don't. Don't do it. Like, because it doesn't really ever leave.
Yeah. You can never put that back. Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and you know, look, with your story, it makes sense, right? It makes sense.
Yeah.
And I would say like the path seems hard because it is hard if you were to want to get out of it.
Yeah, it's something
But
that I pray about every night. Like, I'm always asking, like, to make me a better woman, to help me find clarity and to allow me to feel brave and, like, to see the signs and stuff like that. Honestly, I feel like maybe that's why I've been watching you, because I like listening to you talk about this. But yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate your words.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for listening.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. All right. 400 people waiting to join. Just kidding. There's not. There's 31. I'm not that popular. Bring me up, please. Okay. I don't know why tonight I'm actually bringing up the beggars. Normally I can't stand the beggars, but we'll throw them a bone tonight. Austin, what's the tea tonight? Unpopular opinion. I don't know. Let me think about it. What's up, man?
Good evening, brother. How are you?
Good evening. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm great. Like, listen, thank God I'm alive.
Yeah.
I was listening to the other lady, and she was talking about the pornography with the ex-partner and everything. I've been, as a male, like as a man, whatever, I never struggled with any woman or anything, but I have been going through a relationship previously of 5 years. Let me put this between, like, two windows. Basically, I speak 5 languages, so if you don't understand anything, just let me know. I've been in a relationship with a girl for 5 years, and I never had a chance to like watch porn. I don't like porn. You know what I mean? I'm against porn. It was an incident that when it starts to fall off the relationship, we went to Vegas. And then she decided to invite a third party, which is threesome. You know what I mean? I asked her, I said, why would you bring another woman? We're in Vegas. We're in Vegas. Like, we can enjoy this stuff together. We don't have to have a third party. You see what I'm saying? I found out actually when the relationship started to fall off, I went to her computer and I found out that she was watching porn. My phone had no passcode, nothing. Like I never watched porn. You know what I mean? Porn to me is like it's a failure. You know, if you love somebody, you care about somebody, and you love them the way they look and everything, you don't have to have a porn, pretty much. So um, that's my opinion. It
So
depends
what
on
did you do when you found that out?
what did I do. I kind of got upset. I'm a man, you know what I mean. I got upset, and I found out not only porn. I found out that she was cheating. I found out like that she was talking to. Well, you know, I was dealing with type of narcissist person to say, perhaps. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like you have evidence on your phone or whatever you want to call it, and they just denied it. No, no,
Mm.
no, no. It just, you know, it's just a friend and everything. You know what I mean? So, so
What
literally,
happened when you went to Vegas with the third person?
I kicked the hooker. I kicked her out. I
Oh,
paid
it was
her.
a
I
hooker.
paid her, and oh yeah, I kicked her out.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it. Oh,
we were
I
staying.
thought she like brought a friend. It was a
No, no,
paid
no, no,
friend.
no, no. It was not a friend though. Like so basically, this is where we started. We went to Hell Kitchen. Okay, you cannot book like you know a dinner in the Hell Kitchen quickly. You have to book it prior, like 6 months or whatever, because you cannot just walk into that place.
Uh-huh.
And I had a training in Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona.
That's
I
where I
live in
live.
Florida. Yeah,
Hmm.
so it's only 2 hours between Arizona and Vegas. And I told her, I said, you know what? Like we were like, you know, with this woman, I actually did everything. Like literally, I hate to say this, but with my partner, I will do everything. Like even when it comes to intercourse, we could be sitting in a car, I'll grab you. We can be on a boat, I grab you. You know what I mean? Like there's no, 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 no. Like even
What
if I
about
go
on
to
a
a restaurant,
plane? What about on a plane and coach?
well, you know, it depends. If there is family around, I can't do that.
Okay, so you do have some boundaries.
Right. So there's a boundary.
Okay.
But like when we get to the Vegas, she goes like, "Oh, let's go to this swinger club." I was like, "What do you mean swinger club?" I'm like, "No, no, no." What? She was like, "Well, you get to watch like you know other people doing things and all that stuff." And I'm like, "Listen, I'm not interested in that, buddy."
How long were you dating her before this happened?
Oh, 5 years. 5 years. Like she was the love of my life, bro.
All right.
She was the love. She
All
was the
right.
love of my life.
Okay. You seem like a pretty like emotionally aware person. Can
Oh
I ask you
yeah,
a tough question?
yeah. They'll go ahead, though.
What happened along the way in those 5 years to where all of a sudden this happened and you were blindsided by it? Like where was your
Um,
judgment or where was your discernment along the way?
my concern with her, like I was trying to set up a boundaries, and every boundary I set up, like she broke it. Basically, with my ex baby mama, I told her, "You have nothing to do with my ex baby mama. Let me. I have a custody 50-50. Do not get involved in my child, you know, child custody. You know what I mean? Let me handle it because I'm the dad, and I have to co-parent." Okay. She start like to get involved in a situation, and caused me a lot of drama with my work and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I went off the road. Like I hit the rock bottom, like literally the rabbit hole. Like
Hmm.
literally I was making two like close to $200,000 a year to become nothing to my account. Basically, every job I get, they call my job and cause me problems in my job.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And me and her, we have the same career. But however, let's get back to the subject. What I was saying,
So there were signs that you ignored.
I ignored a lot of signs because you know what? I'm a man, man. You know what I mean? I have a daughter too. You know, I like sometimes you gotta ignore women because women they go just based on attention. We do dumb shit. We have flaws. You see what I'm saying? We have
Yep.
flaws. We're mans. You know what I mean? We're mans. Like we make mistakes and like perhaps to say like let's say it gets worse whatever. If you go cheat, you still come back and be with the same person that you loved originally. But women, when they cheat, They cheat and they do it intentionally because she checked out.
Well, when women cheat, generally speaking, by the time they get to that point, they're done.
Yeah,
They're done.
exactly. But what's the reason why if you're done? Like this is what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, you're a coach. I'm
Hmm.
asking you. If a
Hmm.
woman she's done with you, why the heck you staying with that man? Why don't you have a conversation with him? Say, let's be over. We don't have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah. Well, I would ask you, when did you first start to realize that the relationship was going in a different direction?
When I told her to, excuse my language, to get the f back from her ex, which is he's 20 years old than her, and I'm matter of fact I'm 36, she's 50, and her ex boyfriend is 70 years old, and I told her to stay away from him, and they don't have kids, nothing, but they have the dogs. And I used to take care of the dogs and everything, and all of a sudden I found myself I'm just losing my energy. I wasted my energy on nothing.
Okay. So when did that happen in the 5-year relationship? When did that happen?
Oh, I caught her so many times, bro. I caught her so many times. I caught her hiding, like, in the past 5 years, like, it was not like, hey, let's go pick up the dogs together or nothing. Matter of fact, when I go pick up my kids, I'll be like, I'm gonna go pick up my kids. Would you like to come with me? You know what I mean? So it was like, I was just like ignoring the red flags all the time. But then I got picked up in a situation when I found her
Well. So here's the
cheating.
question, right? You're asking like, what should you have done when she was checked out? But the question is, why did you ignore the red flags for so long? Were you surprised by what happened?
No, I was not surprised. I'll tell you one thing. I actually moved out of state and she found out and she came and slept with me again. Yep.
What, she just tripped and fell and then she was sleeping with you?
Dude, I'm telling you, like literally she just slept with me not even a couple weeks ago. I'm
Okay.
telling you, like it's ridiculous. And I'm telling you, that is the thing, bro. Like
Did you
my story
did you call the
is all
police?
over the place.
Did you call the police?
Oh, bro, I got over 10 reports. She contacted every single woman I have known as a friend. And I'm not saying as a friend that I
Hey,
sleep with them.
can you turn your camera on?
My camera, I'm
Yeah.
actually sitting in my car. I don't want to be like talking in the house because I have a German Shepherd canine
Okay. Are you
and he
making
goes
this up?
crazy. No, I'm not making it. No, I'm truly like telling you honest. There's nothing that I'm making up. There's
Okay.
no bullshit.
Okay.
There's no bullshit. I'm telling
So,
you.
so are you guys broken up now?
Well, we broke up. I told her to stay away from my daughter since that's not her daughter, and she refused. She said you have no say so. So she been posting my daughter on Instagram, Facebook. I reach out to her
Hold on. What do you
directly,
mean
talk to her.
she had you? It's your daughter.
It's my daughter with my ex baby mama, my ex girlfriend, which is
What?
the one that I'm talking about. We have no kids together, and we've
Yeah, I
been
got it.
together for
Why?
5 years.
Why would you allow your ex girlfriend to have any say of anything that happens with your daughter?
Well, I'm telling you this, that's the issue. I don't know how to handle it. I don't know what to do, and I'm seeking help.
Okay. All right. Well, look, man. I I would love to coach you. There's a lot here, right? I mean, if you're serious, go to the link in my bio, schedule a discovery call with me. I'd love to chat. I mean, there's a
Listen,
lot to
listen,
work on.
listen. I'm pretty serious, but this is the thing. I'm telling you one thing. I never knew about this situation about like um, what it says, like going to Vegas and like I was talking. Let's get back to the subject. I literally had a hooker that she came in. And before that, we went to strip club, and she goes like, "I got a surprise for you." I said, "What kind of surprise are you talking about?" So I was already drunk. I
Yeah.
was already drunk in a hotel, and she brings up this woman that she's like probably in their 20s, whatever. And I
Yeah.
said, "Why would you do that, bro?" I said,
Well,
"I don't need that."
I mean, look, I've heard this story before. Usually, it ends with your wallet being empty, and everyone's in on it.
No, 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 no. It's not a being empty. Like it just like if I'm with one partner, I don't need.
Yeah.
If I'm with you, I'm with you, 100%.
Okay. All
I
right,
don't
man.
need
Well,
to
thanks.
watch a porn.
Thanks for sharing. If you want to schedule a call, I'd be happy to chat more. Okay.
Yeah, I followed you already. So,
Okay. All right, man. See ya.
all right, talk to you. Thank you.
Later, bro. Cap or no cap? I gotta pee. I'll be right back. All right. That was fascinating. Lucky Clover. Hello. 1911 Colt. Your name sounds familiar. I'll bring you on. What's up?
Hello, how we doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
All right. So, I originally requested like 4 or 5 guests ago,
Okay.
and the topic did get touched a little bit after I had already requested, but I'll still chat on it nonetheless. The topic I was going to touch on was your viewpoint on a couple recording themselves and watching it independently or together, whichever. And if you consider that, what your consideration to that was.
Didn't we talk about this before?
No, I have talked to you before.
Yeah, I know that. You recovered from
I was
drugs or
going to
alcohol
ask
or
this
something like
question
that,
last
right?
time. I actually didn't ask. Huh? I'm
You
sorry.
recovered from drugs or alcohol or something like that, right?
Yeah, both. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's the thing. You're asking if you make your own porn, is that a problem?
If you're videotaping yourself with your significant other and
Making
you
your own
guys
porn?
watch, right?
Mhm.
If you consider it porn, I wouldn't necessarily consider it porn. If
Well,
you're viewing
it's
it
not like
together,
it's not whether I consider it porn. It's what is the definition of porn. Porn is erotic imagery, usually depicting an organ or multiple organs of another person with the erotic intent to arouse. So by definition, that's porn.
I would have thought it would have been the definition would have been for the viewing of others.
Nope.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I knew. I mean, I know the pure definition of it. Uh, I was under the assumption that it was for somebody else at that point
Okay.
to be considered under that category.
Well, what if it is? Right. The question is, I don't think it's a useful conversation of is it porn, is it not porn, is it cheating? I mean, I can debate you on that, but the question is it useful for you in your relationship? What's the goal of your relationship?
the goal of our relationship. Well, I mean, there's lots of goals of a relationship, I guess. You know, to grow together, to be together. You know,
So for
I mean,
sexual intimacy, with regard to sexual intimacy, what is the goal of your relationship? Yeah, can you mute your TV?
oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Uh, well, I mean, for both of us to each be happy, I would think would be obvious.
Okay.
Kind of an
Okay.
obvious statement, but that would be it.
All right. Well, what would make you most happy with regard to intimacy, sexually or otherwise? What would lead you guys down the path in the best way possible?
I mean, what would be best or ideal is not necessarily what can be. So I don't know if they're one and the same.
What would be best or ideal is not what can be.
Right.
Why not?
Because she cannot, one, definitely as much or hardly at all.
She can't what as much? Would you say?
She can't have as enjoyable sex as either one of us would like.
Why is that?
She had ovarian cancer.
That
And
sucks.
they ended up taking everything out, and after that, I guess the scarring and all that, it was never the same at first. She just could never enjoy it the same after.
Got it. Yeah, that makes
So,
sense. Yeah.
You know, it changed the dynamic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So,
How long ago did that happen?
I think we're about 7 years now in remission.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, that's good to hear.
and you know, it was the whole, you know, they cut everything out and chemo and radiation, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. 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 Well, so you guys are basically using pictures and or videos of each other as a masturbatory aid.
Yes.
Okay. Well, the principle remains the same, right? Is that the best tool or not? Right? If there's, we'll just say, and let me just ask you a question: are you using porn of other people, or is it just of you and her?
I mean, obviously, I don't expect you talk to hundreds of people, but I told you last time I actually stopped about a little over 3 months ago now.
Yeah. No, I thought that's what I recalled. I just wasn't sure. So, well, it's certainly tough, man. It's certainly tough. My assertion to you would be, regardless of the medical situation, that certainly adds difficulty, and the fact that you're using porn is still porn. It's still not real intimacy, right? Now I get it, man. I don't want to pretend that I know what it's like to be in that situation, right? But what I would invite you guys to think about and co-create together would be, what can we do here, right? The reason that the brain science suggests why, even if it's porn of yourselves, that watching porn on a screen is not good is because your brain is literally bonding with the delivery mechanism in which the porn is being delivered. So you're bonding more to the phone, the chunk of metal or glass in front of you, as opposed to bonding to a real person. So that's why, even if the porn is of you and your partner, it still wouldn't be advisable, given the way the brain works, because you're bonding with something that's not your wife. So the question would be, what else is possible? And you don't have to answer that, right? It's a question. I mean, you can't answer it, but talk about that with her.
Well, I don't know what else would be possible at that point. I mean, we do stuff and we video record and when one of us has a chance, because we also have hectic lives. I also have a nonverbal autistic daughter, so that's pretty demanding, as you can imagine. I got developmentally delayed son, so there's other things that definitely are time demanding in our lives. So
Totally, man. Totally.
we are not always on the same sleep pattern because I tend to stay up later to keep things, eye on things. She wakes up earlier, I sleep in later. We do what we have to do to keep life rolling.
Yeah, man, I got it. Right. And again, the question is like, what would lead you guys into the most intimate experience you guys can have, right? And is what you're doing now. And by the way, I hope you don't feel like I don't want to come across like I'm judging you for doing what you're doing. I get it, right? But the question is that the experience that's going to be the most enriching for you guys with regard to creating intimacy?
Right now, I feel like it's definitely a good aid in the situation at hand. I was more curious on your opinion and thoughts on the topic. Because I didn't have no consideration of ending that anytime soon. Because it does seem to, it definitely helps. And as I stated, I definitely left.
Man. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm definitely on my own growth in my life. Like I said, stepping away from, like I said, before I'm 46, I started looking at porn before I was double digits.
Yeah.
So.
I remember talking to you, man. There's a whole story there.
I grew up in a wild lifestyle on top of it, and so I'm still on an ever growing path in my life. So.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I feel like this is definitely the least of things that I've outgrown. But
here's the thing: is there's always growth to be done. You have grown tremendously in your life. You survived your childhood. You survived, again, I don't remember the specifics, but you've already overcome what I recall was like a pretty severe drug and alcohol addiction. So great job. Like, way to survive. Great job. Nobody's perfect. Perfection is not the goal. Right? So
right.
And again, I don't know if this whole porn thing or you creating videos with your wife is the thing to work on, right? I don't know if that's the biggest stone to be turned. But the invitation is, okay, well, what's next for me? I'm 46 years old. I got a lot of life to live, hopefully. So how can I continue to be better? And I like to ground that in, how can I continue to love the people in my life the best that I can at every opportunity I have? I'm not perfect at that. You're not perfect at that. But if we strive for that, beautiful things can happen.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, even with that, I feel like there has been somewhat lift since I quit 3+ months ago from the mainstream. I can feel definitely a different lift, a different enjoyment, even in just watching just me and her video. Is different and more enriching, and I get more out of it quicker.
Yeah, well, I got it, but again, it's still, I would just assert to you, it's still a counterfeit of real intimacy. Even though I get that real sexual intimacy isn't possible, at least in the way it was for you guys before.
Right.
And again, I don't know the answer for you, man. Just for the record, I don't know the answer.
Yeah. I
But
didn't
there's
expect you had a perfect
yeah,
answer for this.
yeah. But there's probably something where you guys can be physically together, enjoying each other in some capacity, touching each other, to where you're not using a screen as a masturbatory aid.
Well, I mean, we're doing that too. That's how we get to the screen part. But
Yeah.
it's just that it's not as relative, or that's not the word, accessible as we would like it to be at this point in time. But
Yeah, I got it.
which is why we're using the aid. But nonetheless, one, I wanted to get this question last time and
Yeah.
I forgot to ask it, and two, it never hurts to throw stuff out there for everybody else to think about in their own situations. So
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate you asking the question, and I mean the answer remains the same, but you had to throw the whole ovarian cancer thing in there, and bless her heart, right? I'm not laughing. I'm just like,
right,
that it certainly it explains the situation, right? It's like, yeah, it's a tough situation, right?
right. So I obviously, if I could have the other instead of the one, that's
Yeah,
where I would be. But
yeah, for sure. So, all right, man. Thanks for sharing.
all right, have a good one.
You too, man. See ya. All right, what's up, man?
Hey,
I just asked you to turn your camera on because
that's fine. That's
I mean, to
fine.
be
I
honest,
gotta,
I couldn't tell if you were like joking or not. So I just wanted to see your face
no,
or
I'm
your
not
body
joking.
language.
That's fine.
What's up, man?
Here's my here's my buddy.
There's
right
the
here.
dog.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
So, what else you got?
Oh, so here's the thing. All right. See, this is why I was outside, because he would not leave me alone.
Yeah,
You
you're
see what
like
I'm
full
saying?
blown making out with him right now. That's like my nightmare right there.
No,
I
no,
do not like dogs, and a dog licking me in the mouth is like, I'd rather watch porn. Just kidding.
no. He's basically he's a canine. He's a canine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's full protection. But I'm telling you, it's just hard for me to talk without like being around him, because he gets anxiety. That's all.
Yeah. Krista, no me gusta perros. All right. Do you speak
Yeah.
Spanish?
So
You said you speak 5 languages.
no, I speak Moroccan. If you can see my flag right there.
I can. It's translated into letters. But I've been to Morocco.
Yeah. So I'm actually born in Morocco. I was raised in France.
Okay.
Okay. I've been to Spain. I don't speak Spanish. I speak Dutch, which is I've been in Germany, and I speak English. English was my last language. And then also I do speak 21 dialogue Arabic. Okay. From
Okay.
Syrian, Palestinian, Syrian, Jordan, the whole Arabic dialogues. I can speak it.
Okay.
So that's the only thing.
Yeah.
But
Got it.
yeah, so like I just want to make sure, like, that I'm real. I'm not.
Yeah, I
I'm not
got it.
joking.
No. I mean, again, like, no offense, but there's some things in your story that I'm just like, does this all add up? So,
Somebody said if I'm military, I cannot speak about that. You can tell, just based on my dog and everything. So, I was at NS, if that makes sense.
I don't know what that means, but whatever. I get the point.
Maybe.
I don't need to know all the details.
Yep.
All right. Well, what else? What else you want to talk about?
Yeah, just like I said, it's devastating, bro. Like I got to the point, like literally, you were talking to this German earlier, and I got to the point, like literally, I got to the point when I started like drinking like crazy. I started drinking like it's not like because I lost my confidence. It just like I couldn't accept the fact that I've been cheated on, and porn was not my thing. Like never. I don't struggle. Like
Yeah.
sexually, I don't struggle. I don't struggle. Like I treat women like, if I have a woman, I'll treat her like a queen, because you know what? At some point, we're all born from a mother. If that makes sense.
It's pretty clear to me.
Yes. So
But it's 2024, so I don't think that that's necessarily widely accepted
it's
anymore.
it's very difficult to date nowadays, and I lost
There, that
everything.
was for
Like
you, Krista.
no, I did lost everything, and it's not about like it's not about like 2024 or whatever. But I wish it was like back in the 80s. I'm pretty sure you're 80s guy. Me too.
85, yeah.
Yes. So I'm at 88. You see what I'm saying? So it's hard to like sit with a woman and just be clear about everything. Everything now become like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Everybody's looking for something. Who's that, who's this, who's that. Like it's not anymore like, hey, let's cook together, let's go for a walk, let's have fun. You know what I mean? Let's like activities.
What are you wanting to
Everything.
be different?
What I want to differ, I want to go back to the 80s, like when it used to be beautiful.
Yeah, but you were 2 in the 80s.
No, I was not true.
You were born in 88?
I was born in 88, so I'm talking about like if I was born in 88, like I'm talking about like, early 2000 or maybe like,
Oh, like
1990.
before like phones and social media ruined everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
we're
saying.
kind of like the last generation that knows what life was like without the internet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it's the OnlyFans thing, the porn and everything. Like to be honest with you, I was never like fan of porn. I freaking hate porn. Because you know what? If you have a woman and you're looking for a porn, that makes you more weaker. Because all you do is sleep with your woman, and all you think of that porn star that sits there, and you're like she's banging another guy.
How many times have you been in a relationship where the woman has cheated on you?
So far that was the last one. I never had somebody that cheated on me.
So I was the only one?
Yeah, and I started to question myself, and I said, like, did I make a mistake? Can I give her attention or validation?
Well, you can, I mean, you can play that game. It goes both ways for men who have been betrayed or women who have been betrayed.
Well, to be honest with you, like, I don't want to give preference, but like, I'm African, originally African from North Africa, so I don't struggle like from the size of my private part. You know what I mean?
See, and this is why I think you're making this up. Because we're just talking about one thing, and then all of a sudden you start talking about
Yeah,
your
but I'm
eggplant
saying
size.
but I'm saying like I'm not having that confidence, losing my confidence. Oh, she cheated on me because of my size. I think that I have done something wrong, and I'm trying to figure it out.
Maybe she likes small eggplants.
Oh, okay. Well, then they can have her. They can have her. What I'm gonna say? They can have her. You know what I mean? Like, but it was my pure intention to be with somebody.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like, I do not like, once I commit to a relationship, I want to be in that relationship 150%. You fall down, I pick you up. I fall down, you pick me up.
So
That's
what
how
is
I
it
look
about
at it.
you to where that's not happening?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
Well, if you were to take a guess,
I actually,
what would it be?
speaking of that, like back in 2022, after getting out of the military, I almost killed myself. You know what I mean? I was ready. You know what I mean? But I was like, no, you got to back up. You're not going to be a coward. You have kids.
Oh, you have
You
kids?
see? Oh, yeah, I got 3 kids. I got 3 kids and I can't even sleep. When I paid thousands of dollars to like, fight the custodies. I can't even see them.
Mm-hmm.
So my life actually turned from luxurious to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine. If anybody wants to say I'm a red flag, that's fine. All good.
All right, man. Well, thanks for sharing. Keep hanging out, okay?
Appreciate it.
All right. Later, bro. All right, I'm going to go to bed soon. Somebody told me to bring somebody else on. Why do you guys keep doing that tonight? Telling me to bring other people on. No. I don't mean like multiple people at a time, but like people are specifically by name saying, "Oh, bring this person on." Speed video caller cast. Gosh, I don't know. That kept look. Last time I brought somebody on, when I said I was going to go to bed, it did not end well for me. Oh man, that girl. I mean, it was a fine interaction, but it was like a. If you know, you know. We need another woman on. We've had like mostly women. All right. Oh gosh, I accidentally just added you, poetess. FML. I meant to click somebody else's name, and yours popped up. So now you're here. Hi there. Are you there? Poetess? What do you guys think I'm eating? Thank God she's not here. Greek yogurt with granola. Michelle, whatever. I meant to hit yours. The names are always like jumping around. It's so hard to.
Hi.
Hi there.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can. What's up?
Sweet. So, hey, I saw this kind of pop up on my TikTok live, and this is a very hot topic that I talk about all the time with my friends. And I wouldn't say that porn is cheating. However, I find it extremely detrimental to a monogamous relationship looking to be very fruitful and long lasting.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's because, well, I mean, personally, I used to watch porn, and I mean, I won't lie. I won't say I was addicted to it, but I relied on it to obviously find intimacy. And
Hold on 1 second. You don't need any followers to come on as a guest. Just so you know, no AME streams. You can have 0 followers and come on and be a guest. Sorry, go ahead.
so, like I was saying, I wouldn't say that I was addicted to porn, but I think I relied on it very heavily to, you know,
Oh,
find
poetess, I'm so
intimacy.
sorry you walked away. I was really looking forward to talk to you, but oh well. I let it go for like 2 minutes and then you weren't there. So, all right, sorry. Go ahead.
You're good. It was just something that I used as a crutch, essentially, to, find intimacy. And I stopped watching porn for several reasons, one of which being religion. But if we take religion completely out of context, I stopped watching porn because I found myself having a very hard time in intimacy with my partner. And I was really tired of finding more satisfaction on my phone than in present time with my partner. And of course, it took like a week or two to finally start to regain full consciousness of my body. But once I stopped watching porn and got used to not watching porn, I noticed that my sex life with my partner completely skyrocketed. And people ask me that all the time, like, why don't you watch porn? Like, why don't you watch this? And I have friends that sometimes put on like sexually explicit videos on TV, and I decline it. I'm just like, hey, I'm just not going to watch this. Not only one, do I feel a little disgusted by it now, but two, I just don't want to ruin this sacred intimacy that I have with my partner now.
So you stopped watching porn, and I'm going to over broaden and generalize it, but like life is better now. Your relationship is better, sex is better, things are better now that you've stopped porn.
Things are better now, yeah. And like I said, I wouldn't call it cheating. However, if you ever find yourself in a position where you have to delete your history, delete your browsers, then in that sense, I would compare it pretty close to cheating.
What would you call it then? If it's not cheating, what would you call it if somebody, let's say in secret, is masturbating while watching other people have sex, and they've agreed to only be committed to one other person? What would you call that?
Then that's cheating. If we've had a conversation and I've told you, hey, I don't feel comfortable with this, and vice versa, if my partner were to tell me, hey, I don't feel comfortable with you watching porn, and you feel that you have to hide that, that is 100% cheating.
Okay, so it depends on what the agreement is, that whether or
Exactly.
not you would define it as cheating.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Well, I agree with that. Depends on the agreement. What do your friends think? You said you talk to your friends a lot about it. What do they think?
Yeah, my friends are honestly super supportive of it. They're like, hey, like, we watch porn, that's for us, and you don't watch porn, that's totally cool. You know, every now and then we have a few drinks, and sometimes things end up on the TV, and I'm just like, hey, I'm not going to watch that. And they're like, oh, yeah, sorry, we're not going to put that on. You know, we totally respect your boundaries. And, you know, although we're comfortable with it, we know that you're not. So, yeah.
Yeah, got it. So that I love that. I mean, you're very clear, and your friends respect that more or less, and you guys can coexist with one another.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, nice. How old are you?
I am 25. I'll be 26 in 2 days.
All right. Well, a lot can happen in 10 years, 15 years, and a lot of people tend to change their opinions on it, at least in my experience talking to people, especially when they get married, they have kids and all of that. So I'm not saying for you, I'm saying for your friends. You know, I'd be interested in how your friends' views may change over the years, if they do at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Thanks for sharing.
Sweet. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, Poetess, I'm so sorry. I brought you on and it was just sitting here quiet. I really wanted to talk to you, but I guess you weren't there. So, all right, one more person. One more person. Maybe. Or I just go to bed. I really do want to talk to you. Great, you can schedule a call with me, Poetess, if you want. Links in my bio. By the way, I'm a coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, both for men dealing with unwanted sexual behavior, pornography being one of those things, or physical infidelity, as well as women who are dealing with betrayal trauma, the trauma that ensues when a betrayal has been discovered. I have groups that meet on Tuesday nights and Wednesdays. It's a great place to heal together in community. Healing doesn't occur until it's witnessed empathetically. Healing doesn't occur until it's witnessed empathetically. So if you're struggling with this, whether you've been watching porn, your partner's watching porn, and nothing is working, or they haven't tried anything, consider scheduling a call with me, maybe joining one of my groups. It's a great place to gain your footing on this and move forward into a life where you aren't held back by pornography. And I would make the assertion that it is holding you back in ways that you probably are unaware of. And in the women's group, if you're struggling with betrayal trauma, you feel like you're the only one, you're lonely and isolated in that, that can be a very lonely and isolating place. There's a place for you. We laugh, we cry in both the groups. The women's groups are led by myself and other female contributors, and the men's groups are led by myself and other male contributors. And it's a great place that healing occurs. So, link in my bio if you want to schedule a call and or join one of the groups, or if you just want to be here for the lives, that's cool too. All right, one more person. It's going to be random. Oh my gosh, the thing to add people. I wish you guys could see what it looks like. It's like it's like playing whack-a-mole. All right, Elliot. I'm just pretend. What's up? I don't know if I can ever heal. You can. I promise you, you can. How many are in the groups? Generally, it depends on which group, but minimum 15 up to like 30-ish. Hey there, what's going on? Hello. I'm not going to end the night with you, Poetus. I would otherwise, but I'll get all riled up and, you know, I won't be able to turn my brain off for a while. So, sorry. I don't think I can heal. I'll never get honesty. Well, what if you never get the honesty that you're wanting? How much longer will you continue to put your life on hold if you don't have the honesty that you're wanting and that you really deserve? I would assert to you it is possible to heal even if you don't get the honesty. Obviously, getting the honesty would be very helpful. One way to do that is by doing a disclosure, a full disclosure. Michelle Mays in The Betrayal Bind, which is a great book if you've been betrayed. Read this book. I promise you won't regret it. I'm not going to hold it up again. So The Betrayal Bind by Michelle Mays. If you read that book and you've been betrayed, you'll be like, oh my gosh, how does this woman know everything about me and my life and what I'm going through? I promise you, you can get through it. Let's do a poll. I wish my BF would see it as an issue, but it's so normalized. Well, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So the question is, what if he doesn't see that it's an issue? What will you do? Just think about it from this perspective. And I know nothing about what you said, Rebecca, aside from that one sentence. The question is, why are you being complicit in this situation that's going on? He doesn't see that it's an issue and you do. Or differently put, every day you're choosing to still be in a relationship with a guy who has no problem objectifying other women in secret and masturbating while doing it. So put it back on you. You're choosing that relationship every day. Every day that you don't choose it, you do choose it. I'm not judging you. I don't know what the right answer is. I'm not saying you need to leave or stay. But look at it from that perspective. You have way more power than you're giving yourself credit for. So are you going to sit on that power? Or are you going to do something with it? I'm going to schedule a call with me. Great. Love to chat with you. Tanja? Tanja? The poll should we should also have specific days to go live so we can all tune in. That's actually a good poll. I'll do that. But I know what the answer is going to be. And I actually don't want the answer. All right. Standard poll. 5 minutes. We'll end with this. Viewers can cast multiple votes by sending gifts. No, I don't want that. Oh, shoot. I just started a Is Corn cheating poll. Tanya. All right. Sorry about that. Don't vote in that poll. That was an accident. Oh, there's a poll. When do you want me to go live next? Question. Should Austin schedule his lives? I don't know what my wife would say. She'd be like, yes, you idiot. Why do you not schedule them? Yes, no. Or a third option. Who TF cares? Fourth option. No, we'll just do 3. All right. My type B personality. I hate saying it that, but it will say I'm not type A. Type B. That sounds so condescending. I'm a beta male. All right, vote in the poll. Oh, dang it. Oh my gosh, I'm such a boomer. Hold on. I don't, for my friends who are type A, I don't resonate with that. I'm like way more relaxed than that. I don't get like hung up about things. But I also don't like the type A or type B. Type A, the type A, type B thing, it just makes it seem like type A's are better than everybody else. It's like, who would want to be like that? Who would want to be type A? All you do is like get strung out about everything. And then you're like, I'm so stressed and nervous and anxious. It's like, well, then stop doing things. My wife is like that. She loves it when I tell her to stop doing things. Why can't I not start a poll? Oh my gosh. Why do I have a current poll going? Hold on. Really struggling here. I've been addicted for 18 years. How do I stop? Name the problem. Don't judge it. And get help. Choose something new. All right, there we go. Did I do it right? All right, vote in that poll. Should Austin schedule his lives? Here's the thing: is I heard, I've shared this before. Somebody said that not scheduling your lives is like having a TV show, like on a news network, and not telling people when it's on. You just have to go find it and hope it's on. And I do realize that that's what I do here. Although I'm at least consistent with my time frame, which is 9 p.m. to midnight Pacific time. But the days are a mystery. The days are a mystery. I just like having flexibility. So far, 24 votes up here. Vote in the poll. No, I'm not adding any more people. I already said that. I brought that last person on and they were like snoring. 92% of people say yes. 3.5% say no, and 3.5% say who TF cares. That's the one I like the most. Yeah, middays are good. I love the middays, and I want to start doing that. I've actually become very clear. You guys have probably noticed I'm not going past midnight. Like I can't do it. I'm not going to bring up Poetus. I would totally bring up Poetus, just not this late because I'll be up for another half an hour at least. It's very emotionally exhausting to deal with somebody like Poetus was in the comments, which, by the way, I'm totally up for it. And it usually is it's usually a really good experience for me and the viewers. But I'm too tired. I was effing my hand before any woman. I'm not changing for any woman. That attitude will get you really far in life. Not. I wonder if there are certain days. Typically, Sunday and Tuesday I tend to go live because Tuesday I have my groups and I'm already like, I got adrenaline and I'm like ready to go. So typically Tuesday nights. I like to do a weekend night. Friday and Saturday usually don't work. Though sometimes I'll do one of them. I like to do 3 days a week. But I hear you guys loud and clear. I really do am wanting to like actually turn this into a show that's not just relying on TikTok. In fact, I should turn YouTube off right now because this is not doing me any favors. And I'm on Twitch right now too. But anyways, maybe I'll schedule some of them. I think I'm actually going to come out with a new community soon, by the way, which this is different than my normal coaching groups. It's going to be cheaper. However, I'm raising the prices of my coaching group soon. So in comparison to the new raised prices, the new community will be cheaper. Whatever, it's still a great value. And then as part of that, I'll do some sort of regular Q&A type thing that's just for the community there. Podcast, yeah, that's coming. So if you want to get on the community, on the coaching groups, now's the time. Death grip leads to ED. If you get in before the price change. Yeah, whatever I change with prices, anybody who's in will benefit from it. We'll just, from any change that happens, anybody will be grandfathered in. So. How long can you have betrayal trauma for, even when a relationship ends? Well, the question is, how long would you not treat it? Right? It's like, how long can you have unprocessed grief for? As long as you don't process the grief. Grief can stick around with you for decades until you work on it. Time does not heal all wounds. Time does not heal any wounds. What you do in the time is what heals wounds. So how long can you have betrayal trauma? Well, I don't know. I've talked to some women who've been dealing with it for 40 years. And then they start working on it and amazing things can happen. It's difficult. Other people, they get on it, they tackle it. I mean, look, the reality is betrayal trauma, these major grief events, I'm going to broadly categorize it as a grief event. They don't leave us. It will always be there. Right? The question is, can you learn to be with it in a different way? Right? And learn to be with your story as opposed to hiding from your story. And we talked about this on our call tonight. It's like, it really is. It's kind of like 6 months to a year I would say for a person who's been like, I don't want to say severely, but betrayed by either an affair or some sort of prolonged hidden porn use. Like 6 months to a year at least to really kind of get your bearings with it. And I'd say if you're really doing some good intentional work, whether that be some one-on-one work, therapy, group work, if you're really doing that, yeah, I mean, by a year you should be feeling better. In a couple years, yeah, you should be on your way. But the journey looks different for everybody. I wish there was a specific formula, but it's just complex. The groups are an hour and 15 minutes. We meet for an hour and 15 minutes weekly on Zoom, Tuesday nights and Wednesday, depending on the men's or the women's groups. I have 2 men's groups currently. But, the groups are on Zoom. We meet on Zoom. So if you guys are interested in coaching, you can schedule a discovery call with me using the link in my bio or join a group. And if you just join a group, I'm going to schedule a call with you anyways because I got to make sure you're not a one-eyed cyclops before I let you into the group. So the best place to start is a call. And I did raise the price of the call back to $25 because some a-hole scheduled one with me for $1 and didn't show up. So they ruined it for everybody. I think I'm actually going to start to put a disclaimer on there if and when I lower the price down to $1 again, which I really don't want to do for this reason. But I'm going to put a disclaimer that says, if you schedule a call with me, one of my $1 calls, if you schedule it and you don't show up or if you reschedule, I reserve the right to publicly shame you on my TikTok. And so you would have to agree to that before accepting the lower price. Because this person, I mean, when I have a call, I'm serious about it. Like, and it sucks. On Sunday, like I came home early I didn't go to lunch with my family after church because I had a call. And then this asshole, she didn't show up. It's like, come on. So, yeah, the problem with the no-show fee, they're not going to pay it afterwards, right? You have to charge it up front. So anyways, whatever. I'm telling you guys too much of my no empathy for my time. Exactly. How do I book a $1 booking? You don't. And if you're asking that question, If you want to schedule a call, it's a $25 discovery call. Links in my bio. All right. Great being with you all tonight. Stop watching porn. And if you are, I won't judge you. I'll help you to stop though if that's what you want. Discover the snake oil. Monopoly, you want to come on here and chat? I'd love to chat with you, man. Let's talk about the snake oil. All right. Come on, let's chat. Tell me about how this is snake oil. Oh, survey results. The discovery call is a 30-minute call. My normal session rate for a 1-hour call is way more than that. It's snake oil if you're not licensed. Yeah. Okay. Great. All right. I'm going to go to bed. We'll see you guys. Make it a great day or not. The choice is always yours. Bye-bye.